From glaciers
to gold.
It's time to look back. Look way back to 1 million years ago. During the last ice age, a giant glacier moved across this land that is now Prince Edward County. This huge piece of ice left behind deposits of sand. Pushed by westerly winds, the sand was caught in bays and inlets. And a beautiful beach was born, what we know today as the sandbanks. This glacier retreated at the end of the Ice Age 12,000 years ago, and plants and trees started to grow here. Large animals such as mastodons, woolly mammoths, and caribou started to migrate into the area. These animals were followed by Paleo-Indians, early First Nations people. These people were hunters and gatherers who arrived here from Asia. And archaeologists have been able to learn about them from the things they left behind. One of the things that they left behind were stone spear points used for hunting. Some of the spear points found in this area are as much as 12,000 years old.
Sometime around 1500 BC, the earliest settlements of Prince Edward County were created by people we call the mound builders. They were named for the mounds they built to cover burial pits. These ancient mounds have been discovered at the north end of the county between Rednersville and Massasauga Point. And at Green Point, some of their tools have been discovered. Mounds were even found very close to here, at a farm on East Lake. The mound builders were farmers who grew corn and beans and crafted metal and pottery. Food would have been plentiful for them during the few warm months of the year. Lakes and rivers were teeming with many species of fish, and there were lots of birds. They ate nuts, berries, and roots that they found in the forests and marshes. The fall would have been a busy time for them because food would need to be stored and clothing made ready for the winter. During the winter, the groups of people who fished moved onto the land to hunt and trap fresh food and furs.
Around 500 AD, the Iroquois people moved into the area, and they made this their home for the next 1,000 years. They also left things behind which help us understand their civilization, such as pottery and remains of corn and tobacco. Their small villages of perhaps 150 people grew into large villages when beans and squash were introduced into their crops. Soon after 1550, some First Nation tribes began to war with each other. And the Iroquois in this area moved away, leaving Prince Edward a no man's land for some time. The Mississauga peoples were the next to settle in this area. They were not farmers, but were hunter-gatherers.
In 1615, Samuel de Champlain sailed to what is now Picton. He was a very important explorer from France who mapped much of Canada and the northeastern United States. He was accompanied by 200 Huron warriors on this expedition, and they paddled in canoes down East Lake to the outlet river. When they reached Lake Ontario, they followed the eastern shore of the county back to the mainland. De Champlain reported no First Nations villages in the county at that time.
In 1758, British Captain John Bradstreet set sail from New York to attack Fort Frontenac, a French fort which later became Kingston. But on the way there, the British ship began to chase a smaller French ship in Lake Ontario off the shores of Salmon Point. With the British following closely behind, the French ship rounded the point and landed at the outlet river. In order to make sure the British captured neither his boat, his crew, nor the barrel of gold he had on board, the French captain got his men and his gold safely ashore, then set fire to the ship. He ordered his men to bury the barrel of gold on the beach. A map was quickly drawn, and the French headed eastward on foot toward Kingston. Although many have looked for it, no one knows whether the gold has ever been found, and any clues as to the location of the treasure have long been erased by shifting sands.
Button.